G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale.
And g'day, I'm Mike.
And we're actually in the nation's capital of Canberra, Australia, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We'll be spending the weekend here of the Eurovision final, doing some special events. So yeah, quite happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly. We're a little event in Canberra. If anyone's from Canberra, we'll put the details in the notes, but I'm not sure many of you will be from Canberra. But it's cold, but it's good. But we're here to talk about semi-final number 2 and our predictions about who's going to get through. Now, we're going to just get 3 out of the way because we just think they're definitely going to qualify. Netherlands, Switzerland, Israel, we just think they're 100% through.
Yeah, can't imagine there's any problems with any of these. They'll get the votes, so sailing through.
Exactamundo. Then we have another group here that we both agree on, we feel confident about, but maybe it's not the 100% here. That's Greece, Armenia and Norway. Any comments on those, Mike?
Look, I'm probably 100% confident with Norway, to be honest. I think the package they've got really does appeal to your kind of tally voters in the semi-final. Armenia, yeah, look, it's the style of music that's going to also get votes, and I can particularly love the performance. No. And Greece. Now, Greece, my favourite of the entire competition in studio. It was always one of those songs you think, how's she going to perform this live? And I think we might be running into a few of those issues, but at the same token, I do think it's got enough legs to get through.
Yeah, I feel most confident about Armenia. That's safely through. Norway isn't coming across quite as good on the big stage, but should have enough to stand out. And I have some grave concerns about Greece. Now, I think they will get through on the song and just her. She's just brilliant, isn't she? Just connects to the camera. But the staging is just not it. So if it gets through, it's going to stumble in. And if there was going to be a massive shock, it'll be Greece. But I'm still putting them through because I'm not brave enough to say that they won't get through from that one as well.
Certainly made some brave choices. That goon bag skirt is one for the ages.
So let's go on to a couple next, which is Georgia and Belgium. Now, I feel really good about Georgia. I think they've done more than enough here. It's Pop Girl with Set on Fire, basically. It's not doing anything new, but it's doing it very well. And Nutz is a great performer, and I think Georgia will stop their NQ streak.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's more than got enough to get the televoters involved. Is she the only girl bop with a bunch of dancers? No, she's not, but she's probably one of the pick of the bunch. So, yeah, it should well and truly get through. Belgium. Well, look, it's winning one of these fan favourites, and let's be honest, the balloon's kind of deflating quite a bit here. I think it's got enough legs to well and truly get through to the grand final. It's just, I think its weaknesses are being kind of shown up on the big stage.
Yeah, look, I think it's all going to depend. If Musti can deliver that vocal, they should have enough quality to kind of get through. But we've got a lot of repetitive camera shots, got a lot of repetitive lyrics, and it kind of feels like just it shows everything and it just keeps going with it, and might become a little bit dull for people. But it's kind of got a quality about it that I feel is being rewarded this year from televoters. So it's going to be on the cusp. I don't think this is safely through, but I don't think I'm brave enough to say it's going to NQ, but it might be right down towards that 9/10.
I know a lot of people were, this is one for the top 10, etc. in the grand final. I'm not saying it.
People were calling it as a potential winner a few months ago, but not anymore. Rounding out the odds is Austria and Estonia to get through. And the odds at the moment have the top 10 being quite strong. What do you think about those two, and are they going to get through?
Those two. So look, Austria for me, it's a good song. It's a good stadium song. People like it. I have grave doubts about how much she's actually singing. I don't know if that'll really affect her in the semi-final, but come the grand final, I think she'll get absolutely punished. Estonia, it just feels a little dated. I mean, like we were seeing a bit of crazy, etc. throughout these semi-finals. And this one, I don't know, it just, unless you're kind of in on the joke, maybe you're not kind of getting it. Or is there any joke? I don't know. It just feels a bit old and it feels a bit dated.
Yeah, I think there's quirkier songs doing things a bit more 2024. And this feels a bit, I can't tell if it's dated or retro in terms of a 2000s type of thing. It's fun, it's quirky, and it's enjoyable, but it kind of shows everything, and it's a bit simple. And I think they could have made things, even for its kind of quirkiness, a bit cleaner, like with the backdrop and everything. I could see this getting through, but I'm actually going to predict it as an NQ. I just think there's other things for people to look at. I think they might go, oh yeah, that was quirky and interesting, or that was just a bit not it, and not get through. But at the moment, it's a kind of favourite to get through.
Yeah,
10th.
It's a fine line between quirky and naff, isn't it? And this is probably coming off as a little bit naff. And I'm not a big fan of them wearing black with a black and gold background.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
kind of losing them. It's just not hitting it for me.
But it might have enough. It's got some more hooks in there, so it's going to be close. Austria, I actually feel quite confident on this. Yeah. It comes at a good stage in the running order. It's fun. It's boppy. It's a public vote, not the jury. She has a couple of vocal moments she did in the jury preview this morning, and she actually hit them. Well, hit one of them. The other one, medium. So I think to show, hey, I am singing a little bit, and I think that's going to be enough. It's fun, and I think people will vote it through.
She might want to try singing the other 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
All right, let's go to a couple that we are going to say are not going to qualify, and we feel confident enough about these two. It's Albania and Malta.
Yeah, look, I'll start with Malta. It's a very good performance. I think Sarah gives it everything, but nobody votes for Malta. Let's face it, last year they had a package that a lot of people were really buzzing about, and they got, a handful of votes.
3 points.
There you go. So I can't see this actually breaking double figures, to be honest, and it's not a bad performance.
Yeah, it's all fine. She does a great job of it. I think the problem is the song. It's a really good performance, and she had a better song. I think Malta's got to do a lot to convince people. A bit like Australia, a bit like UK and Ireland. We're a little bit isolated in our little islands that we do. And unless you bring something quality, you're not going to convince these nations to vote for you. And I just don't think they've got quite enough this year to get through. Even though I thought they've done a good job of the staging. And Albania, it is the worst package in the semi-final. I think it's the worst package. I think she's okay. The national final performance is good. This is not working in any way, shape or form, and the diaspora won't vote for something if you're not even going to talk to the diaspora. It's in English. It's got no message behind it. It's got nothing Albanian about it. So why are the diaspora going to vote for it? People just think they're going to vote for anything. Albania's NQ'd a lot when they do stuff like this, and I expect another NQ tonight.
They generally tinker with the song, don't they, between national final and when they get to Eurovision. They've done it successfully the last few years. I think they've done it incredibly unsuccessfully this time, unfortunately.
All right, kind of working our way up slightly is Latvia, which we've pretty much got a 99% no on, but we got 1%. Maybe it has a chance because that's a stunning vocal.
Absolutely. We see people do vote for vocals. We saw that with Estonia last year, for example. The problem here is it just probably lacks a little bit of life, doesn't it? Even within the staging itself. He's fairly static. He's delivering the song and pretty much that's it. There's no real originality in the song or the presentation. So I've got a feeling televoters might say, well, I've seen this all before and I'm not that impressed.
Yeah, I think the thing is he's got a stunning vocal. There's some part of the staging I don't mind. We center it with the circle and it goes to those kind of almost like, I see them as kind of like vein type things rather than a tree, Jamala tree, but what people will see it as something like that. It may get rewarded, but I do think we're seeing Latvia non-qualified, but there's just that little tiny chance, but not much. All right, then we come to 3. So we basically have said 9 qualifying between us, and there's 3 countries left, so we have 1 each. Now, who we have left is Denmark, San Marino, and Czechia. Let's start with Czechia and San Marino, because they're the 2 type of rock songs here. And people think maybe they'll take some votes away from each other, but I must say both of them have elevated dramatically what they did at the national final.
Well, thankfully for Czechia, they have elevated it because it was a disaster. It's certainly not a disaster now. It seems like quite a tight package. They're doing well with the vocal as far as blending in other people, etc., to make sure it works. Look, it's a good, tidy performance. It's got that kind of rock pop little vibe to it. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. Whether it's got enough legs for me, I don't think so.
Well, after we'll do these 3 and we'll do our last prediction at the end of the 3. Just work that out on the fly. Look, San Marino to me, I think its colour is fantastic. Magada are always going to bring a wonderful stage show, and they've given San Marino a chance, but they've got to sort of overcome a lot to qualify as well. And I do think people are going to be like, why are they singing in Spanish? People will accept English, I think, from any nation. Italian, obviously, for San Marino. Spanish might just be like, this is a little confusing, but the performance is fantastic. And if they got through, I'd be really pleased for them. They've done a stunning job and a great job for the San Marinese delegation, who are trying very hard, actually. And Czechia, I think this is brilliant. I think this is so good. I think the staging is good. I think it sounds good. She has some moments. She doesn't do the vocal that doesn't work. So it all feels very tidy, and the staging really suits the song, and the song sounds current. I think this is a great package, and I think if this was another nation, I think a lot of people would be talking it up a bit more.
Okay.
What about Denmark?
All right, Denmark for me. Look, I'm a bit biased on this one because I really do like the studio version of the song, and I always have. It's not reinventing the wheel. It is just a bit of an elevated version of what they did in the national final, which wasn't particularly impressive the first time around, so I'm not sure why they didn't make more changes. But Saba does deliver the vocal, Saba does deliver the handography and the armography, etc. So I think there's something there with good, solid Scandinavian pop, which will appeal to, hopefully enough of the voters for her.
Look, people do like this type of music. Like, it exists for a reason, and it's all done. Everything's done well and good without being great.
Yeah.
So is that going to be enough to get through? I think Saba's vocal is sometimes quite hit and miss. When she nails it, it sounds really good, and it does carry the song. But it's quite exposed. So when she's going for these powerful ones and it doesn't quite hit, it's quite noticeable. And they've definitely gone heavy on the sand aesthetic. Like, it's sand at the start, the sand on the LEDs. It's called sand, so I kind of get it. But maybe they've overdone it a little to a point. I would have liked maybe a bit more creative ideas to than just sand. Like, yes, we want sand, but not just that. Anyway, those are the three. Who is your qualifier?
Look, I'm counting out Czech Republic. I just don't think it's good enough. I'm a bit sorry for San Marino, because I think any other country with that package, I'd probably be giving you a fair chance to get through, but unfortunately you are San Marino. So that leaves me with Denmark. I just think Denmark might have the legs. As I say, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's certainly got a decent enough package there to see in the grand final.
I think people are going to find Denmark far too vanilla. I just think it's just going to run through, and they're not going to put it through. And I think it'll get beaten by a few. To me, the two-horse race between San Marino and Czechia, and I just think Czechia has got the edge for it. So I'm putting an upset of qualifying, qualifying for Czechia. I think they can get through, and I think San Marino might be the unlucky one to miss out when I think they've got a great package.
I agree.
But I think what we can say is this is a lot more open than the betting odds are making out.
I think so too. They've got a clear 10 in the betting, and I just don't know if it's that clear.
Exactamundo. All right, well, those were our predictions. Let's see how they all turn out.
Thanks for joining us.
See you later.